Welcome to the forecast. To my right, we have AP18. Alex, how you doing?
Hello, everybody.
And to my left, GW himself. Gary, how you doing?
Garrett, doing good.
This is the What's It Comics forecast. My name is Marvin. We're here to tell you the comics coming out on October 31st, 2018. That's Halloween. The Alex, what's that considered? All Hallows Eve?
Yes.
And what's the next day? The Harvest Moon?
It's All Saints Day.
All Saints Day. You know what they say, though? Where do they go? Marching in. All right, here we go.
Oh, my God.
First up here, we have Image Comics Ice Cream Man number 8. This is Maxwell Prince and Martin Moranzo. Emergencies, end of a story arc. Emergencies. This thing got stories? It's got an arc? How's it going? Garrett, how's the Ice Cream Man?
I'm sure they all have arcs, but they may just take a break after the arc.
Yeah, I think they're like mini stories. I actually haven't read 7. I have that next to my stack. But again, this is like a great anthology book. Even though I guess there's arcs now. I didn't know that. But the Ice Cream Man is very much like Pennywise in the It story. So it's kind of that same thing. But like the last issue, I think that was The Falling Man, if I'm not mistaken, was super good. And this book is just, it's a good horror that like plays light on horrific things. And like if you see that variant cover with the clown, looks awesome. I'm getting the regular cover. But still, just wanted to say.
Maneaters number 2. This is Chelsea Kane and Kate Nazimbeck. Blood Will Spill Day 2. Maud experiences abdominal cramping and sudden increased appetite. Her father, I guess, investigates another mauling. Alex, what do you think? Maneaters number 2.
Maneaters, I think, has been excellent. It's one of those books that really surprised me in issue 1. I was going to get it regardless to see if I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed Maneaters so much that I think this is a book that has the possibility of being a really strong Image title. So I'm excited to jump into issue 2, and I'm excited to see the book goes, because it's got kind of reminiscent of like real life ideas. So I'm really interested in this.
It does look, I mean, this has been probably one of the best debut series I've ever read, and super excited to jump in issue 2. Like, it's just a good, like, issue 1. It's rare for an issue 1 of a book to be so amazing. Usually there's a good book with like a good cliffhanger, but this one was good from cover to cover, so super pumped.
Realm number 10. This is Seth Peck and Nick Fallari. Jeremy Hahn also on art there. End of a story arc. The dungeon crawl continues as Molly takes on the Spider King while Will's life hangs in the balance. Alex, what do we think? Realm number 10.
Oh, I loved Realm. I think Realm is a book that I needed. So when I don't have Birthright coming out, this is the book to kind of fill that void. I've said before, and I'll say it again, it reminded me a little bit of The Last of Us, going on this smuggling adventure, running into problems. I love this book. It's too bad that Garrett dropped it and Marvin's too cool to read it.
I told you I was reading it.
Doubt it. Got past the first page of the first issue? I don't think so.
Witches, Bat Egg, Halloween Spec, one shot. This is Scott Senator Jock. Garrett, what do you think? Witches a one shot. By the way, is that second Witches 2, did that ever finish?
Yeah, that's this. The Bad Egg. This is the special that ran through all of the Image Plus magazine, is this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think the story is really good. It definitely is like, you don't have to have read Volume 1 of Witches. You just read this. It's its own self-contained story, and it's actually pretty terrifying, and I loved it. I think that was like the best part of the Image Plus Volume 2 is this story. So I think if you want to experience Witches for the first time but don't want to read the first volume for whatever reason, this is a good place to start, and especially in time for Halloween.
I gotta say something. I actually have all the Image Plus, haven't read them, so I'm just gonna buy this just so I don't have to go find my books.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like it was 4 pages for about however many. It must have been, I don't know how many issues, at least 16, I think. So $8 is definitely right. like worth your buck. It was a good story.
$8 is worth your buck. All right.
Batman Secret Files #1. This is DC Comics. Tom King, Jordy Blair, Ram V, Cheryl Lynn Eaton, Tom Taylor. Art by Jorge Fornes, Elena Casagrán, and Brad Walker. Also Hanin on the cover and doing art. Michael Hanin. Delve into Batman's case history and discover brand new stories from some of comics' most exciting talents. The Batman team of Tom King and Mikel Janin provide a framing sequence, set up our handpicked teams of creators to take a look at Bat Mysteries past and present, featuring a bevy of Batman villains, including a look at how Scarecrow's fear toxin affects the common man, and a special story written by Tom Taylor and art by Brad Walker that teams the Dark Knight with Detective Chimp. This is kind of like an anthology Batman book. What do you think, Garrett?
Super, super pumped for this. Like, never been more excited for a single issue comic to come out in a long time. They used to do Secret Files a long time ago, and they were the best because it wasn't like an annual to tell just like goofy stories. It was an annual about just fun. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'll take the word fun back, but like really good stories that are like one-offs that you never get to see ever again. So the fact that they're bringing back Secret Files, super excited. You got Tom King and Mikel Hanin, who's doing Batman basically right now. Tom Taylor, one of my favorite writers, with Brad Walker on art. Like, again, another great team up. And this book's going to be about mysteries in the past and the future and the present. And you get Batman with Detective Chimp. What more can you ask? Like, this book is going to be incredible.
So now I'm actually less excited about this book. When you guys were trying to sell it to me earlier about, oh, Tom King is writing, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. I'll get this whole book if Tom King is doing it. Now I'm a little more apprehensive. I'll still get it for you guys, just so you're not lonely that I can't talk to you about it.
Bullshit. You would have got it anyways.
I wasn't even on my list. Wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah, but if you didn't know that Tom King was writing, I bet you wouldn't have got it. But the fact that he is...
No, I'm just saying the only reason I'm going to get the book is for Tom King. Tom Taylor, to me, he's okay, but he's not to the tier that Tom King, the King, is at. So
you shut your whore mouth.
Deathstroke Yogi Bear Special #1. This is Frank Terry and Mark Tedextria. Backup from J.M. Demitis. And all these books, actually, they have the same backup. It's part 1 of 4, and this one is Secret Squirrel. But this is Deathstroke and Yogi Bear team up in Yellowstone Park. Legends speak of a spirit bear referred to as the Yogi, which few, who's dying over there?
Sorry,
which
few, if any, have actually encountered, real or not, when a bear seems to have graduated from stealing picnic baskets to kidnapping actual campers. Ranger Smith decides it's time to stop this menace, so he calls the services of Slade Wilson, a.k.a. Deathstroke, to get the job done. Like I said, backup story from Secret Squirrel. Green Lantern Huckleberry Hound #1. This is Mark Russell and Rick Leonardi. I think it's the team from the Flintstones. I know Mark Russell is, but I'm not sure who the artist was. But this might be up my alley. We'll see here. Also, part 2 of Secret Squirrel. There you go. Heroes in Crisis #2 of 9. This is Tom King and Clay Mann. Alex, what do you think? Heroes in Crisis part 2 of 9. What do you think so far?
So far, I'm intrigued. I think it's one of those things that, as we, I think, discussed on the show, things that have happened in issue 1 are for real, that they're not pulling our chain. And I have a hard time swallowing that pill, that it's not a bigger deal than it's just an issue 1. I don't know. I'm excited for this book, but I'm also kind of saddened to see that I got additional 2 issues added on to it, because it makes me a little weary on what did they have to change that needed 2 more issues, or what went wrong that they needed to fix.
You don't see it as an opportunity to tell more story?
No. I see it as there's a problem. And that DC didn't trust the team to do this, so instead there has to be a loophole to come back so that nothing is official and that nothing is final.
Damn, you're like in a harsh mood, man. This book, like, I think that we talked about this on the show. You know, a lot of our favorite heroes died at the end of issue 1. Spoilers. So to see that kind of glossed over, like we didn't even really notice, it's going to be interesting to see how it takes effect in this book. I'm really hoping that we get a little more exposition in this issue, because last issue was just full of, it seems like, Easter eggs and kind of setting up the plot, but more just like, oh, I bet you want to know this and this and this, but we're not going to tell you this and this and this. Like, okay.
There you go. Heroes of Crisis number 2. I'm really looking forward to that issue a lot. Hex Wife's number 1. This is Ben Blacker, America Adolfo, Joel Jones on the cover. The women are too powerful. They must be tamed. For hundreds of years, a war has been waged between a covet of particular reincarnating witches and the all-male conspiracy known as the Architects. After the death of the lead architect in 2005, it seems the witches have finally defeated their foes, now 13 years later. Waking up in a perfect cookie-cutter home at the end of a cul-de-sac in sunny corner of suburbia, Isidore has no recollection of her past life as the leader of the witch coven, nor her soulmate Nadia, let alone the century-old war she waged in defense of the soul of America. This is one of Vertigo's new books that they're relaunching, so there you go. They're relaunching the Vertigo brand. Injustice versus the Masters of the Universe number 4 of 6. This is Tim Seeley, Freddie Williams II. Alex, how's it going so far? I see our boy Adam on the cover there getting a little tortured.
It's good. It's definitely a book that if you like He-Man and you like not even necessarily Injustice characters, but you like DC, it's fun. It's kind of like you're in the TMNT Batman crossovers, but it's also one of those things, there are no stakes. Maybe there'll be stakes in this. I guess it's the Injustice universe. Shit happens, but I have a hard time believing that any of the He-Man characters can be killed off. So I'm getting it for just that nostalgia factor of my cousins grew up loving He-Man, and so it's kind of bled into my enjoyment of, hey, this is a cartoon from when I was younger, so I have to get the book.
He has to. JL Dark and the Wonder Woman, the Witching Hour number 1. I just brought this up for one question. I thought this came out already. Did it not come out already?
Yeah, isn't this is this an annual for it?
It says the deadly finale of the Witching Hour arrives as Zatanna battles for Wonder Woman's soul and the rest of Justice League Dark battles for their lives. I just think this is the last one. It wasn't the first one, Wonder Woman.
Oh, it was Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Justice League, and now it's Justice League and Wonder Woman but it says number 1. It's very confusing. Very confusing.
Yeah.
What about this though? Justice League Aquaman Drowned Earth number 1. This is James Tynion IV and Howard Porter. Anybody getting this?
Nope.
Gary?
No.
I know we're going to get into the next issue of Justice League, and it's going to be part 4 of this, and I'm going to be confused. But I'm not going to get dragged into under the water. I'm not going to get drowned in this world.
Well, Justice League is confusing enough some of the time. I don't need to get a mini series about a confusing book that I'm already reading. So,
Nightwing.
But at least in the last issue of Justice League, at least I understood that this book was going to take a leap towards this. Where when we got to Justice League Dark, we had finished that first arc and just got thrown into the middle of a book. Or of a storyline.
Magella Gorilla Special number 1. Heath Corson and Tom Gurmit. This is Nightwing and your favorite gorilla teaming up. Superman Top Cat number 1. This is Dan DiDio, Tom Mandrake, Shane Davis. There you go. Gary, getting that? Superman?
nope. I don't buy into this Looney Tunes stuff.
What?
It's not Looney Tunes, that's Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, yeah. What all this stuff is. I'm not getting any of it.
Terrific's annual number 1. This is Gene Lu Yang, Mark Russell, James Amos, Joe Bennett, Evan Shatner, and Victor Bogdanovich. Covered by Emanuela Lopacino. The 3 starting Terrific Tales kicking off with the Deadly Nightmare at Stag Manor. When the plot to steal Plastic Man's powers goes awry, the Terrific's new home and everyone in it are at mercy as stealthy plastic monsters. Looks like Sapphire picked the wrong day to host a Halloween dance for her Stag Industry intern program. Next up, discover the secret origins of Java the caveman, and the secret he's keeping will shock you. Last but not least, we uncover Tom Strong's hidden adventures in the dark multiverse. Hold on to your holy socks. Garrett, what do you think?
I'm so pumped for this, especially just like I was saying before the show, the art team for this is fantastic. All of those artists I really enjoy. Joe Bennett from Hulk, Doc Shander's been doing this book at the beginning. Victor Bogdanovic has done a lot of Action Comics since Rebirth came out, and then why do we had Lou Pacino on? I can't remember. He was in a book that we were reviewing for, I can't remember what book it was. But art is amazing. The story, I'm not sure. I mean, Gene Luen Yang did the whatever Superman, the
new Superman.
Yeah, the new Superman, and that started out kind of cool and then got really lame and boring by the end. But I mean, it just wasn't for me. So I still think he can write a good story, and at least one with humor too. So the other two writers I don't really recognize, but I'm still excited enough based off that art to get this book, because that is 3 great artists. Well, 4 technically if you count the cover.
I wish that there was at least one part of this book that was at least by Jeff Lemire, to at least make me feel like there's a little bit of a tying factor to the ongoing series. So I'm actually kind of thinking I may not get this.
Wildstorm number 18. This is Warren Ellis, John Davis Hunt. You can never go home again, but John Lynch needs to go somewhere to begin the last act of his life. Jack Hawksmoor never really had a home, especially since he became something other than human. As the war between Io and Skywatch gets hot, Mark Slayton has somewhere for Lynch to go, and Jenny Sparks may have a new home for Jack Hawksmoor and Angela Specta. Alex, what do you think? Wildstorm number 18, right before the break, right? This is a break after this one.
I believe this is the last issue of the year until 2019, right? I think it's January it comes back from a hiatus.
I thought it was longer than that, but I think it was like March.
And it very well could be longer than that. I'm excited. This last about 3 issues have been fairly solid. I'm getting not necessarily lost in what's going on, but I am almost getting tired of the book because there's not a whole lot of progression, at least from the Wildcats part of it that I'm going to call them the Wildcats. We've gotten a lot of that John hunting the other special team that had been put together. So I'm hoping that all these little threads that were being given a suggestion to come to fruition, and that in the last 5 issues, my mind is blown. That's my hopes.
Avengers Halloween Special number 1. If you guys want a holiday special for Marvel, there you go. It's coming out. Black Panther number 5. This is Ta-Nehisi Coates, Paulo Rivera on the cover, Daniel Acuna on the internal art. Garrett, what do you think? Black Panther number 5.
I just have one word, and it's finally. Like, this book, I feel like, is coming out at the beginning of one month and the end of the other, and it keeps following that same pattern, because I don't even think we're done with the first arc yet. And, it's been going since July, so I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of weird to me how sometimes Marvel will have a book come out twice a month, and then they'll have a book come out monthly. And this is one of those books that's so great that you're wanting to read it so bad that it just doesn't come out. It never comes out. And it's still consistent, but it just feels like forever because of how great it is. And I'm super excited to read this. I mean, it literally is like a Star Wars book almost with Black Panther characters. Like, it is super good.
I think that it just feels like Coates is putting so much effort into these books that he almost does it issue by issue. It doesn't even feel like he's gotten, 6 issues in the bank. So that's why they come out so sporadically, once every month, and they're at weird moments of the month. Is that he just has the time now to work on that Captain. It comes out, it's excellent, and then he starts working on the Black Panther.
Daredevil number 610, Charles Soule, Phil Noto. I reported back on the podcast last week's show that this book is pretty great now again. And if you look at that preview, I'm not lying. It's actually pretty good. So I'm looking forward to seeing the second part of The Death of Daredevil. So there we go. Marvel 2-in-1, number 11. This is Chip Zdarsky, Ramon Perez. Are you guys getting this book anymore? You had a little conversation I heard earlier today.
No.
I'm dropping it.
Well, the Fantastic Four are back, and there's fallout from their absence, both in the universe and the family. The Thing and Mr. Fantastic go on a voyage to rectify mistakes and heal wounds, but is it too late? Your boy Marvin's got to get this book. There we go. What about you guys? Want to get Old Man Logan number 50? That's Ed Brisson, Abraham Robinson, Sorrentino on the cover. Final issue. Logan came into the world the same way he's leaving, in pain. Don't miss the end of an era as Old Man Logan's golden years are cut short. What do you think, Alex? Old Man Logan number 50.
I think this is a book that I'm actually super excited for, and I think Brisson has the possibility and talent to make this book worth my time. But as everybody knows, I'm fairly skeptical that ending a book is a hard thing to do and still leave me going, wow, that was a well-read book, a well-written book, and I've enjoyed it. Because this is the last thing I remember. I remember the beginning of this book with Jeff Lemire was amazing. When Brisson hopped on, I was really skeptical, and it was spectacular. And I've kind of had hit or miss feelings about it throughout these last 25 issues that I'll have to see. I'm interested in it, but I'm also weary.
Well, this isn't really the end. This is this is the end of the series, but there's still a 12-issue maxi coming out to actually conclude this whole series. So,
is Brisson writing that?
I think so. I think this last arc has been incredible. It's really touching back to Logan's roots, while also dealing with, the Hulk being back and whatnot as King, or at least an alternate Earth Hulk. This book, at least this last arc, just really is bittersweet that it's almost over, the storyline. And like that cover by Sorrentino with like every on it, at least in this series. I'm so excited. It's going to be a great issue, I think.
Garrett, where did you see information about that Old Man Logan maxi series?
I saw it on an ad.
Oh, because I've never
it's
heard
coming out.
I mean,
I've seen it on the solicitations. I haven't seen it necessarily in any of the books.
Okay, well, you guys have to find out some stuff about that, so maybe we can look it up. I'm searching right now. I don't see anything about it, but West Coast Avengers number 3, Kelly Thompson, Stefano Caselli. This is a book rate. This feels like the second issue came out a long time ago, or am I just crazy? Alex?
It's been a while. It's probably been over a month almost, because the last time I had it was Tigra was a 200-foot tall woman tiger thing, because that's her character. It's good. This is one of those books that I'm trying to, it's weirder than I had expected. And I think that's a part of it for me, is that I'm not sure what to expect from this team, because your leader is Kate Bishop, and she gets into plenty of weird things. But the last issue, we saw some land sharks. There's multiple 200-foot tall beings from Brodak. So I'm interested. This book's doing its job. It's weird enough to make me go, where do we go from here? I gotta start drinking while I read it, I think.
I had Nancy Drew number 5. This is Kelly Thompson, Jen St. Oj. Did you guys drop this book because you can't find it?
No, I still get it.
You still get it? Okay.
Yeah. Probably where you guys left off. Still amazing. Still incredible. They just wrapped up the first arc. Such a good book. I think Kelly Thompson is just a great writer, and she really writes Nancy Drew very similar to how she wrote Kate Bishop Hawkeye. A fun but very intelligent and serious character when need be. And it's really fun that it's got the Hardy Boys mixed in there with some of Nancy Drew's friends from her past mixed in. It really is a very enjoyable book, and I look forward to it every issue.
That's a book that's in my transition to going digital. I kind of, I missed 3 issues right in print, and then I went digital. So I think I'm going to read that on Hoopla. It should come out when the trade comes out, which I should imagine will be pretty soon. But Kelly Thompson's always amazing, and this is the perfect book for her. So I am curious to catch up on that. One for probably just me. Who knows? Planet of the Apes, Time of Man, number 1. This is Dan Abnett, David Walker, Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Carlos Magno, George Shaw, and Morgan Beam, celebrate over 50 years of one of cinematic's most important franchises with this one-shot collection of stories highlighting the Planet of the Apes' most dangerous enemy, the beast called man, featuring stories from both the original film and new series canon, including the early years of Ramato and Caesar before conquest of the Planet of the Apes. And for the first time ever, a story set in the harrowing events of War of the Planet of the Apes following a few of the remaining human survivors. You know what? I love the Apes books. So this is a one-shot, so say, hey, might as well get this and check out what's going on. Those are some good writers, and I just can't pass it up. There we go. You know what they say about apes, right, Alex? Ape does not kill ape. No, it does not.
Wow. You know what? That may be the truest statement I've ever seen. Unless you saw some wild chimpanzees, ape does kill other ape.
What do you think about your pick, though?
Actually, my pick of the week will be Man-Eaters number 2. I found the first issue to be enough to really pique my interest, and I'm actually kind of a sucker for a book that has real-life ties and just how people feel about such things that I'm so excited for issue 2 to come out.
Garrett?
Going to Batman Secret Files. I think that's got a lot in it. That's going to excite me. And definitely when I read the solicit and saw who was on it, it got me excited super quickly.
I am going to go with the Black Panther number 5. It's a tie between that and Tom King's Heroes of Christ number 2, but I think Black Panther number 5 edges it out because of Kuna's art. And the way the story is, after 4 issues, it's proven itself to be consistent every time and be a very exciting book to read right now. So that is a book that I will probably read first. I'm guaranteed. That's the way I do it. Unlike Alex and Garrett over here. I read my one I want to read the most. Numero uno. But
I've actually found more lately that most of my books are fairly even on excitement level. I read the 6 I need to read for the show, and then I just read whatever I have. Because they're all good.
To update, the series is called Dead Man Logan, and the first issue comes out next month.
Okay. Alex, what about this weather? It's been beautiful the last couple days, 70 plus maybe. Today was like 62, I think. Went out for a brisk walk. Me and Gary over here took a brisk walk outside. Got a little, you get a little cold, but the sun's on you. You don't keep too cold. Is that continuing through the month of January is what I heard, right?
Oh, I don't know who told you. Was that Garrett who told you? Because he lied. No. Actually, come Friday, Saturday, you're going to get some rain, but by then your books will be safe at home, boarded and bagged like my man Marvin does. Never lets those books just sit out about. You're going to get some snow coming soon. So make that hot chocolate and be ready to roll. Get those hot tamales so that your tummy is nice and toasty. If you need a sweatshirt, by all means, go find one or steal one of Garrett's. I know he's got 77. Take one. I didn't hear you deny you literally have 77 sweatshirts. Way to go.
Garrett, what about the
sweaters? Maybe, but what about sweatshirts? As far as the roads are concerned, this is going to be a very high quality week. Even though it's not it's a normal week, I would say, but there's a lot of great books coming out, a lot of books I'm excited for, and a lot of things that normally, like, they're just like different books, like one-shots and annuals and things like that are more exciting than the actual books that are coming out. So excited for that. As far as those roads are concerned, if there's a pothole, if you just drive right over it as you're speeding towards your comic book shop to get your comic books, or I guess if you run outside to grab the paper before coming inside to buy them digitally, just make sure that you look down before you step, So,
I got a weird question. Why are you telling people to drive over the potholes? If you can dodge them, just dodge them so you don't ruin your tires.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you're secretly working for a mechanic.
Then fall off the highway and kill yourself. Cool. You never swerve on the interstate or highway there, buddy.
Okay, why are there potholes only on the interstate and highway? I was thinking just in the city travel. There's enough construction everywhere.
Who takes the regular streets to get to your comic shop? You take that interstate or highway.
I take the normal way, because why would I go out of my way to take the interstate?
Well, your car is like a Batmobile, so not everyone.
I just run over people. So,
well, this
I just turn into a monster truck and just drive over everybody.
You probably listened to this episode the day before, maybe on Halloween. I just want to put out a public service announcement out there. Anybody that's going trick or treating, just make sure to keep safe. Go out there, get some nice candy. You got to watch out though, because I heard some reports, and clarify me if this is true or not, guys. I heard some reports. There's a guy out there. He's wearing a white mask. He's pretty big and tall, and he's kind of like a shadow in the night. And if you're not too careful, he might just get you. Who knows? So you got to watch out there. Keep a trunk full of weapons like Alex does, and maybe eventually you can take a bat to that guy's knee and be the hero of Halloween. My name is Marvin.
I'm Alex.
Sounds like Casey Jones. I'm Garrett.
Hey everybody, happy Halloween, and keep reading those books.